I always seem to run into this little guy all over the place. You guys see how like dirty, gross my van is? Like, it's disgusting. I haven't lived in my van in this state of chaos ever. In the last couple of years, my van has never been in this state of madness. I slept in that bed last night without putting these over top of my blankets. I was just tired at the end of the day. I was like, ooh. That heater is starting to get a little warm on the butt, so I gotta move. All right, Chrome, grow up. All right, guys, diving into a little bit of Q&A. I've got a bunch of questions from you. Some of these are really great questions. Some of these are stuff I've covered before in the past in videos. But before we get this going, we're giving away a Jackery Explorer 240 battery over on Patreon and here on YouTube memberships. We're doing the giveaway together between both of them. So if you guys want to come over and check out what we're doing there, become a part of that family, now is a great time to do it. If you come over and see us now, you guys might be able to get in on that Jackery Explorer 240 battery, giving that away on February 2nd. So, yeah. Damn it. I dropped my... What is going on? All right, guys, let's dive right into this one. What do I do for money? So I've been in my van now for going on 3 years this summer. That's insane just to think about. And I earn 100% of my living on YouTube. It hasn't always been this way. When I first got into the van, I was still DJing, and I was holding on to some parts of DJing that I didn't like. Like, I was doing weddings and stuff, and that was never really my thing, but it was kind of like a means to an end, you know what I mean? So I was still doing some bar gigs and weddings and corporate events and stuff like that. But I soon found that YouTube was starting to become a decent revenue source that I could probably cut my ties with that. And the excitement of editing videos just sparked me wanting to make that jump and that change. So I let go of the DJ side of my world, and it felt kind of good. I've been a career DJ forever, since I was 14 years old, and I stopped when I was 42, 43, however, I'm 45 now, so however old I was when I stopped, a little over a year ago. It felt really good. So I earn my 100% income on YouTube, and I understand that a lot of you guys won't be in this situation, but this is what van life gave to me. I was never a YouTuber before van life. I just started to produce videos about van life, and it just happened to turn into, well, what you guys are watching today here on Van City Van Life. It's just turned into this naturally and organically. When I was younger, I knew music was inside of me, so I became a DJ. I've been doing what I loved my whole life creatively. So now, this is what I do now. Bam! I'm a full-time YouTuber. I've seen multiple people mention this in the comments of that solar video. So the question was, why did I put my solar on a roof rack and not just bolt it directly to my roof on the other side? Obviously. Why didn't I? Okay, here's my question. Why would you want to drill holes in the roof of your van when you don't need to? You see, this leaks. If you have any mistake at all or anything over the years where that screw starts to rot or anything like that happens, or whatever you sealed it with starts to deteriorate or get hot or move, then the inside of your van is going to start taking on water. That's why I never screwed anything into my roof. It was hard enough to put that roof vent in last summer, let alone drill 30 holes in my roof just to bolt down all of my solar. Not gonna happen. So for me, putting the roof rack up there was my way of just protecting the roof of my van and protecting me from any future problems down the line. I know everybody out there is going to do whatever they want to do. I chose to do the roof rack for that reason, right? That, and I also would like to do a full custom roof rack that goes from the very front window to the very back of the van, giving me lots of extra storage room at some point. So if I start putting screws into here, that chain, then I'll have to unscrew it all just to put that all onto the roof rack, the big fancy one I would like one day later. I don't know if that's ever going to happen because the roof rack I have now, well, it works. I would just like to have the option to put some storage containers up there. Like for seasonal stuff. Like right now, winter's just about over. Well, winter's pretty much over in Vancouver. So I wouldn't mind taking all my winter stuff that I won't touch again till next year in a bin up there. So yeah, but that's just my suggestion, guys. Think about that. I'm sure it may keep things more low profile, but for me, I would rather have them sitting up there on a big chunky roof rack than my roof leak in my van and lie in my bed at night and get dripped on in my face, or one thing, get moisture underneath my insulation and then all of a sudden it causes mold, all because I was dumb and screwed it through my metal roof. I don't know, to me that just doesn't sound like a good idea. But do whatever you guys want to do. All right, this one here was, I just shook my head at this one. Remove the sticker from the back door of your van chrome. You're going to have nothing but problems. You need to be stealth. Okay. I laughed when I seen so many people say this. And this came from a video I made recently. I think the title said, I heard voices outside of my van saying, I think somebody's in there. If you watch that video, that whole thing was because somebody was fighting and arguing outside of the front side of my van, like up there. And then CRUZ heard it. CRUZ went right up to the front of the van and started, like right up, looking out the front window and started barking. That's why people were like, whoa, I think somebody's in there. And then they quickly scurried up the street. It scared them, like CRUZ scared them. So it was nothing to do with my Van City Van Life sticker on the back door. For one, let me ask you something. And I know I'm going to see people in the comments of this video just saying, oh, I noticed them all. How many times do you drive to and from work every day, and do you recognize every plumber's van, construction worker's van, and all these other like business type vans? Any sign shops and vehicle vans that drive by? Do you notice and really soak in and take in what every company vehicle you see with a sticker on it says? Chances are you can't tell me any of the vehicles you've seen today, let alone yesterday or the day before or even 5 minutes ago, because I drive to get coffee every morning, and sure, I see plumbers like construction vans go by. I don't know what that sticker says. I don't remember the company name, because it has no value to me. So for the most part, when someone sees a sticker on the back corner of the van, right where any other business logo would be, they're not going to go over there and stare at it and read at it and go, oh, well, what is Van City Van Life? Because I know people on my channel for the longest time had no freaking idea what Van City meant in my logo. Do you even know what Van City means? All my long timers will be like, yep, that means Vancouver. You got it. But I even know people from Vancouver that was like, what's the, oh, Van City as in like vans in a big city. I'm like, no, Van City is in Vancouver. Like, oh, that makes sense. And I even live in Vancouver. Not everybody registers that sticker. You know what I mean? Not everybody knows what van life is. You do. You all know what van life is because you all want to get into it. Prior to you wanting or learning or even being turned on to what van life is, a lot of you, I bet you didn't even recognize any of the camper vans that drove by you unless they were hyper visible, like the big classic van life ones that you know they're on vacation or something. It wasn't until you got into this lifestyle that you started to notice those things, like a roof vent. As soon as you put a roof vent on your van, boom, stealth goes out the door. For who? Stealth goes out the door for other van dwellers knowing you live in it. Not because people that live in apartments that you're sleeping in front of see the roof and go, oh, somebody's sleeping in that. The only person that's doing that is somebody that knows what van life is. Most people would think that this just ventilation for whatever construction material might be in the back of the van. People don't register what Van City van life is. They don't know. It's just a logo. People have no clue. Not unless they take the time and look it up online, and then if that's the case, who gives a shit? So no, putting stickers on your van doesn't make a difference, because there is rental campers all over the place in Vancouver that's all stickered out with their like camper van rentals. They live in those things all summer long, zero problems, unless they park like a dick. You know what I mean? So guys, for the most part, nobody cares if you're in your van. Sure, stealth comes in handy sometimes, but since my sticker's been on the back of my van, which has probably been, I don't know, over a month now, I've had no problems. I'm parking in the same spots and the same areas and the same everything. And people may think that, oh, those people outside of my van were like that because they read my sticker. No, they were in the front of my van arguing. Because when CRUZ was up there barking, I woke up and I listened. You could hear people talking very loudly in the front of my van, like an argument. And then they heard CRUZ barking his face off. Then they booked it. Nothing to do with my sticker. But yeah, think about that. People only notice things that have pay value to them. So if my big, nice little logo with the little mountains and the little truck on it and the Van City van life with little YouTube, if that means anything to somebody, they will notice it. And in that point, you're good to go anyway. People are like, oh, cool, there's another person like out there traveling. This is great. The average like mom and pop and grandma and grandpa, they have no clue what that means. Am I worried? I can't believe this comment keeps coming up. This guy came up in an email. Am I worried about this whole COPPA child protection thing? No, I do not make videos for children at all. And if I look at my statistics, no kids watch my videos. I think only 2% of people at the age of 18 watch my videos, not even 2%. So no, I'm not worried about that whole, it doesn't affect, I make videos for people that put keys in ignitions and drive. So you need to be of legal age to, does it make sense? So no, I'm not. Why can't I comment on some of your videos? Okay, this one came up because I recently had a video with my friend Dan, and it was just a short little video featuring him and some paint stuff that he was doing. I disabled the comments on that video, or I made them held for review for a reason. If you ever see a company or a business in any of my videos, like the guy who did my rust repair, or the donut video I made with a little coffee shop in Lillooet, or the brewery video that I made with like Bad Tattoo Brewing, I always hold comments for review on company videos for the reason that I don't want that company to share this video and there's some idiots in the comments from van life who are just like running their mouth in the comments. I don't want their customers to see that, so I filter my comments on there to keep it positive. So if they share it on a company side, there's not, because realize this, like my buddy Dan would share that with his custom car painters. I don't want people that aren't into that stuff to be like, Chrome, this video sucks, why are you not talking about van shit? So I disable the comments and the thumbs up and thumbs down, so when they share it, it's always positive. It's just good business, that's why. Because I had quite a few people go, like, they were confused on why they didn't see any comments yet. It's because I hadn't gone through and approved all the positive ones. How many kilometers were on my van when I bought it? Okay, these basic questions, like how many kilometers were on my van, how much did I pay for my van, and what are the dimensions of my van, what series is my van, is in the description of every single video. So if you just take the look in the description of this video by just clicking that little arrow if you're on a mobile device, or clicking show more or whatever it says like that, it expands your comment section. So you only see a small amount of it. You click the expand button and it opens up everything. All of my information's in there. Everything you want to know about my van, when I made my first video, and the whole bit, it's all in there. All the basics that you may want to know are in there. But I bought my van at 165,000 kilometers because I'm in Canada. So 165,000 kilometers, and I think now my van's at 247,000 kilometers. And I bought my van, it's all in the description. I bought my van on August 16th, 2000. 2017. Yes, 2017. But yeah, all that stuff is down there, you guys. So if you have any questions about just the basics, try looking in the video descriptions. And besides, all my links for everything are in the descriptions as well. When my heater stopped in my van, because recently I had both my heaters go. I had my van heater, the blower motor that blows the heat in there, that went, and I ran out of propane all in the same morning. Horrible day. It was a good day, but horrible to have like just every heat source go. So the question is, when my heater stopped, did I consider using my stove? No. So because I was getting up in the morning, it was no big deal. So I got up, went and did my day. The heater was working when it started, and then my van heater stopped. So I went to the shop and it was fixed within an hour, hour and a half. So, but on the note about using a stove, I have used my stove as a heat source. I have turned it on extremely low in those odd mornings when I have run out of propane, because it does happen running out of propane. It's no big deal. It's not like, oh, it's such a big deal when you run out of propane. Because if I run out of propane, I just drive to the nearest gas station, swap my tank, and I'm out the door. And I use those swap tank services. They're like, so I just take it back and they just swap it. And whatever, it's no big deal. And anytime I do take off into the back country, I always make sure my tank is topped up. If I know I'm going to be away from reality for a few days, that I always double check. But when I'm in town, I don't even think about looking at it, because I'm always going to be near a way to get propane the next morning when I wake up anyway. So it's really no big deal. I'm a new subscriber, and I would love to have a tour of your tattoos. That's a good question. I really don't have, well, this arm here I got 20 years ago, and I don't want to do a full dedicated video on it because there's not a lot of huge stories. But this one here I got 20 years ago. You can see like the elbows all faded away. I would love at some point when this arm is done to have the guy who did this arm go over this one. He already told me he would happily go through it and redo it all and kind of bring it back to life. But for tattoos that mean something, this one on my hand is probably the most meaningful tattoo that I have. This is the first tattoo I ever got that has meaning. So my first tattoos I ever got are on my feet. Oh, you see that? I got the same thing on both feet. They're just tribal tattoos, nothing exciting. So I got tribal things on the top of my feet. My first tattoos, no meaning at all. I just went and got it done. So the one on my hand here is when my other bulldog, Disco, passed away last February. He passed away on February 13th at 2:35 a.m. This one here is the only one I've got that's got some real meaning. I've kissed this hand more. All right. I miss this little homie. He was such a very big part of my world. And I got him when I first became single, and me and him have just been two single bros together until he passed away. And now it's just me and CRUZ Bear just running around this world being maniacs. But this is the one that's got the most meaning. So, and that's his time of death. I love this one. All right. And as for this arm, it's kind of got this got some meaning. So it says, "Hello, my name is Chrome." Chrome is written in graffiti. I just thought this was funny. None of this is done. This all still needs to be finished off down here and around. Then this one is super meaningful, of course. Weirdos Unite, the slogan of this channel. This represents a very big part of my world. And the Weirdos Unite thing is like when my life really started to change, you know? Super cool. And over here, there's some aerosol, like some graffiti spray paint cans, because I'm a graffiti junkie. And so that's that. None of this has been done yet. We're going to get naked here. Okay, not really naked, but... Oh, gross with my finger. All right, actually, we could probably pull this up. So underneath my arm here, that's the Monte Carlo logo. I've been a fan of Monte Carlo's, the car, for a very long time. And I used to have an 85 Monte Carlo with T-tops, custom candy paint, white and orange pillared interior, chrome undercarriage, hydraulics. It was awesome. So anyway, this kind of just represents a major piece of my world before that. And just a diehard fan of Monte Carlos, man. And just before I gave up all the lowrider stuff, I was building a 1978 Monte Carlo. That was going to be my next one. But that's what that represents. Then there's just some fill-in stuff like some roses. And over here... all right, sorry guys, I'm trying to, without wrecking the shot too much. And then there's a graffiti girl. She's got a respirator on. She's not done yet. Her face isn't done. The mask isn't. None of it's really done. Most of it's just primarily just outlined. But yeah, that's pretty much where things have been going. It's not done. We probably got another stack of sessions on there, but I love that this one's like super dark. But that's it for my tattoo tour. I never expected to be diving into it like that on this video, but hey, we got it on. All right, last question I got here. Why don't you have a 12-volt fridge? It's cheaper than a cooler. Is it though? Is it really? Think about it. You think about that. I have a cooler back there that I bought used for less than $100, and it cost me about $10. Yeah, it's about $10 a month for ice. Sometimes maybe a little bit more, but $10 a month for ice. So at $10 a month for ice, that's $120 a year. Let's round it up. Say I spend $150 a year on ice. It would still take me, what's a good fridge cost? If I were to buy an ARB fridge in Canada, it would cost me $1,400. If I were to buy the nice Canadian made one called Unique that Costco sells, which is a really, really good one. It's got the compressor that you want in it. Because when you're buying a fridge, there's only one kind of compressor you want inside of that thing. And the rest of those cheap $250 ones you're seeing on Amazon and stuff, they're garbage. The compressors will end up going sooner or later. You always get that person that gets that magic one that lasts, but then everybody else has the compressor blow in a year. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? You gotta find that China company to replace that weird compressor that's in it, right? So it's about $800 to buy the one from Costco, 800 Canadian. It would take me how many years of ice to get that cooler? You know what I mean? So if you look at it, not everybody has $800 to throw in to get a fridge. And that's not even where you start. Because in order to have the fridge, you gotta power the fridge. You gotta buy solar for your roof and a freaking charge controller and enough batteries. So getting a fridge is not cheaper than buying a cooler. I have my cooler. I've been rocking a cooler in my van for 2.5 years, and I have this many complaints. None. Not a single complaint at all. So think about that. Think about the cost it takes to get your cooler, to get your fridge. There's a lot of upfront costs prior to purchasing it. So it's a little bit different if you have already bought your solar, bought your deep cycle batteries, bought all your wiring and installed it all, which the installation is usually the most expensive part, and your wiring and your fuses, it all adds a huge chunk. So if you're already at that point and you already have that stuff, then sure, to drop another $800 to buy a fridge, no big deal. But for someone like me that had no actual way to run power to that thing all the time, because the last thing I want is to have 5 watts to be pulling off of my deep cycle battery, which I can only drain down to 50% anyway, because you can only drain a lithium ion farther down without killing it. Mine's not a lithium ion, so I don't have the battery capacity nor the drive capacity to keep my van driving in as much to keep that van charged enough to run my fridge. Does that make sense? Right? You know, I already have a hard enough time with that one battery to charge my laptop and my lights and everything else. And you're like, this light's going dead. To charge up everything that I do need off of my one battery. So, yeah. So whoever asked that question, and I've seen this many, many times, getting a fridge is not cheaper than having a cooler. So if you're looking at the running costs, sure, it costs me $10 a month for ice. It might cost me more than that for ice in the summertime because it'll be warmer in here. But since I bought this cooler, I go through probably 2 to 3 bags of ice every 2 weeks. It seems to be holding ice a ton. It's in the back of the van, so it is colder back there than it is up here. But yeah, so just don't listen to these comments when you see them in the comments. Don't be like, well, maybe I should get a fridge. Get what feels right to you. If you're a cooler and ice person, then be a cooler and ice person. So as of now, I'm a cooler and ice person. I've been like die-hard cooler and ice person since I started my van life. No complaints at all. I am sure once the solar goes on the roof and once I get all the batteries and stuff that I would like, maybe closer to summer, maybe I might get a fridge once I have that power capacity. But as of right now, screw that. My little cooler is badass. So coolers for the win, at least for me anyway. Some people find it really annoying to constantly change ice. It's just been a part of my van life since day one, so I don't sweat it. I did more waste of time stuff living in my apartment than I ever do living in my van. My van offers me way more conveniences than to worry about throwing ice in my cooler. Nothing. Besides, my beer is always literally ice cold. All right, guys, I know this is probably a long one, but thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow or the next one. CRUZ is passed out. Okay, guys, see you soon. Oh, my thumb, I cut it cooking. Did I tell you that already? Yeah, see, this is why Chrome should never cook. But you like my focus on that, buddy. Huh? Yeah, it's the Santa Cruz skateboard because I'm cool like that.